Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I know this is a video that I've promised you guys for so long, especially if you're coming from my Instagram. This is something that I've been saying I will do since like the beginning of the year. So I'm glad that we've reached our destination in a sense. So welcome if you're from my Instagram, and if you are from YouTube, you're a regular subscriber, thank you for being here. And if you're brand new, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you never miss a single video, because I post every week, you guys, literally every week. So, you know, do with that what you will. But let's get into today's video, which is a chit chat about my skin journey. So we're gonna talk about the couple things that have happened to me recently in terms of my skin. So I'm gonna insert a photo of what my skin looked like in late November, early December of last year. So here is that photo for you guys to look at. Obviously my face was super puffy. I was like kind of confused about what was even happening at the time, but you know, I was scared because my eyes were boiling, they were large, it was not good. So in November, I started kind of having weird breakouts around my eyes, which I didn't understand, right? So obviously when something like this happens, you're kind of like, what's going on? And that's exactly what my reaction was. I was like, why is this happening to me? Why now? Especially since I just graduated a few months before. I was really looking forward to making a lot of content, especially in the winter, and I just didn't get to do that because my skin kind of got in the way of a lot of things. So I couldn't wear makeup. In fact, this is the first time I'm wearing makeup since I got diagnosed, or since I even had like the last breakout that I did. So we're doing good, but I hope I didn't irritate my skin today. We'll see. But let's backtrack here. Let's go all the way back to November so we can kind of discuss the details of kind of what happened around the time of my breakout. The night before I had my breakout, I used a hair mask that I've never used before. So it was a homemade hair mask. It had eggs, flax seeds, a bunch of other ingredients in there that I've used before. So I was kind of like, why is my face breaking out when I do hair masks constantly? I'll even insert a little thumbnail of the multiple videos that I have on hair care, on hair masks, on things like that. So imagine waking up the next day to a breakout that you've never even seen before, and it was scary. I thought it was because of the hair mask. I thought it was something I did. So fast forward from there to about 2 weeks from there, in the beginning of December, I decided to visit my dermatologist because it was just getting to a point where my skin was peeling, like literally around my eyes. I took a few photos, so I'll insert them here. But oh my God, you guys, it was so bad. I literally couldn't leave the house. Like, that's how bad it was. I don't think I've ever had any kind of breakout like this in my life. And for context, I have eczema. So I've had eczema my whole life. I've had to deal with triggers and breakouts in terms of that constantly. But first of all, never on my face like that. Like, the closest it ever came to that was above my lip, around my eyebrows, something like that. But it was never as severe as the images that you guys have seen. So when this was happening, it was the time of Thanksgiving, so obviously I couldn't do anything for multiple days. Like, I was in the house with my face swollen and itchy and kind of just like dry for about 2 weeks before I did literally anything. So flash forward to when I went to see my dermatologist in about early December. So I saw her, she looked at my skin and literally was like, okay, I'm not even gonna lie to you, you have mild psoriasis, but it's kind of inching on. Like, it's looking severe because you haven't seen me. Like, you've taken almost 2 to 4 weeks to even like address this issue. So of course your skin is peeling. And guys, it extended to like my hairline too. Like, I don't know if you guys can kind of see like missing hair follicles, but around here I was really dry. So I'd like pick at it and it kind of would just fall off. Like, I had a lot of dead skin and I was just like, what is happening here? Because I've just never had anything like it. So obviously when I got diagnosed with mild psoriasis, it kind of made sense. I've personally never had psoriasis before, obviously, had never had to deal with it. So I was kind of like, what on earth brought this on? Like, have I done something? What happened? I don't know. It was just so weird. And she literally said, there's nothing I can explain about this. Like, it's just something that happens. And she basically told me a lot of people with eczema can develop psoriasis depending on, you know, certain conditions. So she just said to monitor when it flares up to kind of figure out when the triggers are. So luckily, since I came home from visiting her, she gave me a bunch of topicals, which have been really helping, as you guys can tell. And by about January, my skin started getting back to normal. And, you know, many flare-outs here and there. You guys have probably even seen if you've watched my channel for long enough. But it's nothing crazy. It's nothing I couldn't handle, but that initial shock, that initial breakout, like had me so scared. I honestly thought I was done, and I was really, really scared. But yeah, guys, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. So I am really happy to be here, obviously, especially because I've put in the work. I literally, like I said, this is the first day I've worn makeup since November, maybe even October of 2021. So, I'm really doing my best to keep up with this regiment that I have, which is a lot of hydration. My skin requires so much hydration, it's kind of nasty. So I do this thing where I slug my face pretty much every night, which is exactly what it sounds like. It is slugging yourself. You literally overput creams and topicals. So for me, I use shea butter. That is the best thing. It is chef's kiss. So that is what I use for my eczema. That is what I use for, I guess now, my mild psoriasis, right? But it really does help. And in fact, right now, you guys probably can't see, but I'll maybe try to take a photo of it or something, but I am having a breakout on my left eye. It's super mild. I'm gonna try to take a photo of it though, just so you guys can see. So actually, this is perfect. I just took a photo of it. I'm gonna insert it right here. If you see the creases around my eyes, that is a process called lynchification. I know, your girl has terms, right? So lynchification is something that happens when you have eczema, maybe even psoriasis, which I guess got both, right? With eczema, lynchification kind of just makes your skin lynchify. Like, I don't even know. It just makes it kind of get saggy, but not actually saggy. Like, you're not aging or anything. It's just your skin becomes so dry that it like folds in on itself. It's super weird. I don't know how else to explain it, but if you have eczema, you've probably experienced something along those lines, especially if you have it around your eyes, which I don't know why. I literally don't know why it happened around my eyes. I could not tell you, but I'm being very mindful of that. So I don't like to put, man, I barely put mascara on anymore, y'all. Like, that's how serious I am, because I don't want to itch my eyes and get caught up in the sauce, because usually when I wear mascara, that's what happens, is my eyes get itchy halfway through the day. And with this new diagnosis, I just don't want to test it. Like, I don't want to play with her. So, I'm just not trying to push her buttons at all. So yeah, you guys, this was honestly probably one of the, not traumatic, but one of the wildest journeys I've been on in 4 months or so. Like, I've never experienced something so intense in such a short amount of time. Like, imagine 24 hours ago having, normal skin. Like, obviously not normal because I've already had eczema my whole life, but in general, like, regardless of the eczema, my skin's pretty tip-top shape. I feel like that's something a lot of people know about me. They always like say, look at me, you have such great skin, wow, like, so even for me, someone who had normal skin, in fact was praised for having good skin, woke up the next day with huge ass boils around my eyes. Like, I was so scared, y'all. I was terrified, honestly. Death doesn't have anything on this, to be honest. Like, I woke up in hell that day. So, not really, this is a joke, but I really was scared, you guys. Like, it was traumatic in its own ways, but also, I know I'm in a different setup. I probably should have mentioned that before. I got so excited to talk about this topic because honestly, y'all, this video should have been filmed. Like, this video was promised in like February. I think I made a post in January saying, hey, my skin's starting to get better. Do you guys have any questions? And I got a bunch of questions, and then I just didn't deliver, like, at all. So, here we are in March, doing my thing. Better late than never. Speaking of, I think I'm actually going to get into those questions right now, just because I think they'll help guide the discussion a little bit better and just make things a little bit more seamless and, I don't know, like, kind of fill in the blanks, because I don't want to just give you guys information that you don't necessarily want. So let's get into these questions. But if none of the questions touch on, the healing process, what I did, after, I'll talk about that a little bit, after the questions. But let's get into the questions now. The first question is actually from a friend of mine from Tanzania. So, hey Sav, thanks so much for sending this question. Can't believe I haven't seen you in years. First of all, let's just address that, because it's been years, 10 at least. But you asked the question, how did I clear my hyperpigmentation? So this question is like very multifaceted. Hyperpigmentation is levels, okay? There's layers to this shit, y'all. Like there are so many different types of hyperpigmentation, I feel like, and mine was so moderate. It wasn't severe, luckily. If anything, I had more scars than hyperpigmentation because I was peeling my skin, literally. So I wouldn't say I had hyperpigmentation as much. And if you even saw hyperpigmentation on my skin from photos or videos or whatever, they're most likely scars, because the hyperpigmentation I have is more like, you guys know it, you see it. And even you, Sav, you've known me since I was like a kid, so I feel like you've seen the hyperpigmentation on my face. It's usually like on my cheeks, my nose, like literally I have this line right here that makes this part of my nose lighter. I couldn't tell you why. But the hyperpigmentation on my skin is very obvious and not at the same time, because it's on parts of my face that are meant to be highlighted anyways. So it'll be like my cheeks, maybe like my T-zone. You know, it's weird. I don't know. God gave me natural highlights. I don't know what to tell y'all. But in regards to the hyperpigmentation, I really didn't have a lot. It was so moderate. And I think what actually helped it was the shea butter that I was using along with vitamin E oil, because that is what I use for my scars. So I would literally apply shea butter, like a thick layer. I would like let that seep through for a sec, and then I'd go in with the vitamin E oil and kind of just dab it onto the spots. So like up here is a spot I had. Up here, you can see the dryness, y'all, but up here, those areas are the areas that I would, you know, use the vitamin E oil on. Basically, if you have any type of hyperpigmentation, whether it's from a scar or just your skin being your skin, because that's what they do, baby, vitamin E oil is your best friend, for sure. And I think the shea butter combo really just takes the cake. Like, it is giving chef's kiss. It's giving, you know, it's giving, what is it giving? Michelin star chef, that's what it's giving. It's not even chef's kiss, it's Michelin star chef's kiss, okay? But no, it really is the best combo. So vitamin E oil and shea butter. So the next question is from Luna, someone I went to college with at LMU. So hey Luna, if you're watching, thank you for asking this question. But okay, essentially the question is, I've struggled with psoriasis my whole life, would love to hear your journey. So I guess it wasn't actually a question, sorry, I put you on blast there, Luna, but I do appreciate you sending this message, because honestly, we all struggle with different like issues in terms of our skin, mental health, body health, all these things. And sometimes it's like really hard to talk about it on social media just because of the stigma that comes with, I guess, perfection in a sense. That's what everyone thrives for. And I personally have given up on perfection. I'm like, she's out the window, because it doesn't exist. Perfection actually doesn't exist. And if perfect were to exist, it's a standard created by somebody else. So it's not actually your own definition of perfect. So yeah. I think it's really important for us to share our journeys, especially when it comes to skin, beauty, things that, you know, are idealized to be perfect or thought to be perfect. And it's like, it's not really perfect. It may look perfect on social media, but it's not perfect. It's not given. Okay, and that's tea on tea. I feel like I have like a British alter ego, I swear to God, y'all. And everyone who actually knows me knows this is true. This is something I've done since I was a kid. I definitely do have a British alter ego, and it's fine, I'm fine. I just need to create a name for her, because some of the stuff she says, I didn't want that. I didn't allow that. You know, like that was not by my consent. She'd just be blurting shit out and I didn't even ask for it. So thanks Luna for sharing. So the next question is from April, one of my girls. She said, what is the one thing you've learned through your own skin journey? You know what, if I learned anything from this journey, I learned the fact that everything is temporary. Literally everything. Your good skin, temporary. Your weight loss, temporary. I'm not even trying to come for y'all, but like seriously, everything is so temporary. We don't have to attach ourselves to physical things that change literally every second. Like every second I'm breathing, my skin is either getting drier or getting moister. So it's like you're never gonna be exactly where you were a second ago. And I think knowing that gave me the balance to feel like, okay, skin, you will get better. It's fine, it's not that deep. And then vice versa, like if I had a breakout again, it's also fine, because that happens. You know, it's gonna heal. Literally, y'all, like one day breakout skin could be healed skin. And it's like, we need to stop associating ourselves with our physical, you know, external looks and beings, because that has like absolutely nothing to do with who we are as people. So I think just recognizing that everything is temporary on the outside definitely made me feel like, okay, it's fine, because even if my skin looks great, looks bad, looks in between, my inner being is always gonna be the same. She is, you know, obviously I change, there's character development, because if there wasn't, that would be a problem, and I wouldn't even want y'all to like know me or be my friend. But there will always be character development, but at the end of the day, what's inside will stay the same, is never changing, is pure. At least that's how I feel about myself. So the external stuff can just really go, like it will not be here forever, so there's no point on clinging on to it and fiending for it, or, you know, there's just no point. So that's what I learned, that everything is temporary and everything changes, especially on the outside. So yeah, guys, don't be too stressed about shit, seriously. To follow that up, I'm gonna actually say this thing that I saw from the Grownish episode I watched yesterday, which I know y'all, I still watch Grownish, like, you don't have to come for me, okay? But in this episode of Grownish that I watched, one of Yara's friends, what really her character's name is Zoe, but Zoe's friend Vivek lost his dad. And the moral of the story of this Grownish episode was that, you know, we're constantly worried about so many different things every day of our lives, right? Like our brains are running 200 miles per hour, you know, just on thoughts. And, you know, we think we've thought through all the different problems in the world, especially me. Like I'm the girl who's always like, you know what? I always worry, and it's good for me because I've thought of every single outcome, so it's never, like, nothing's ever gonna get me, or I'm never gonna be surprised. And girl, that ain't true, because what they showed us in this episode was the exact opposite. Like, you can worry about 10,000 different things, but it's the one thing you don't worry about that will get you in the end, because you didn't think about it. You were so worried about thinking about all these other things that may or may not happen that you didn't even think about the one thing that ended up happening. The whole temporary thing kind of makes me feel, at the very least, comforted, because it's like, well, everything is temporary. Even if something does happen in my life that, you know, disables me in a sense, like that will be temporary. Like I will, you know, persevere in a sense. And to follow that up, there's no reason for me to stress about anything. That's the reality, is like, if I stress about my skin, if I stress about this or that, it's not gonna change the outcome, literally. Like my stress is not gonna do shit for the world. It just makes me stressed. Like that's all it does. So, you know, instead of worrying about all these problems that may or may not happen, or just stressing about things that are happening, like I just need to let go and realize everything is temporary, especially on the outside. And you know what? If it's not temporary, it will give you character development. So at the end of the day, it's okay. Like if my skin is boiled for the gods forever, it's okay, because it'll give me some sort of depth that I never had before. Sorry, I definitely went on a tangent there, but you know, everything is temporary, and you do you, live your life. Don't be stressed, because it's gonna happen whether you want it to or not, baby. I'm so sorry to do it to you like that, but that's the truth. So the rest of these questions were by a few friends, but mostly subscribers. So this is probably for y'all. But the next question is, where do you find yourself flaring up the most? Where do I flare up the most? It's usually my upper lip. I don't know why. Like right now, if you looked, you would see. It is what it is. My flare-ups are pretty easy to deal with, so I just slather layers of shea butter and vitamin E oil, call it a day, and honey, I'm good. Sorry, I had to face this way because like I've been sitting on the floor, as you guys can or can't tell, but that's where I am, the floor right now. Next question. What has your treatment process looked like / how do you manage both psoriasis and eczema? My treatment process has looked like steroids. I know that sounds, you know, as an athlete. No, I'm kidding. Sorry, that just wasn't even funny. Like honestly, that was not funny. I should cut that out. Probably won't, but I should. Anyways, my treatment looks like steroids, literally, like steroid creams, topicals, stuff like that. I've never had to take like medication or pills for eczema, but I do know people that take, I think either pills or like injections, some sort of shot for psoriasis / eczema. That ain't me, baby. There's no need for me to like irritate my immune system more than it has been, because clearly that's what eczema and psoriasis are. It's some sort of autoimmune disease. So it's like, not disease, but you know, it's a thing. So why would I irritate my immune system by injecting more baba ganoush up in there? Like I'm not doing that. So yeah, my treatment just looks very simple. It's a lot of steroid creams, different kinds, a few ointments here and there, but mainly creams. The next question is actually quite interesting. So this question is, what types of products do you stay away from? So I typically stay away from products that are fragranced at this point in time, other than perfume, obviously. But like in terms of creams, in terms of conditioners, I mean, my conditioner does have a scent, but for the most part, I try to steer clear of fragrance full scents. Like I try to get fragrance free creams, all that stuff, you know, even like essential oils and stuff. I try to get them as fragrance free as possible. But luckily I don't really use essential oils that much anymore, so I haven't had that problem. But I feel like that's one of the main products I definitely avoid, because everything else is fine. Makeup I feel like I avoid now, like foundation, you know, kind of contradicts myself right now because I'm wearing it, but I usually don't wear foundation anymore, so barely even wear eyeshadow to like the full extent. It's usually just like my brow bone that gets a little bit of tint. You know, brows get done sometimes, but for a long time my brows were struggling with psoriasis, so I was like, we're not doing it. It was just Vaseline for like months, weeks. Not years actually, but months and weeks. Next question, kind of personal, but what are your triggers? What kind of triggers are you talking about? My eczema triggers. I actually don't know. So that's something I've struggled with. That's partly why I feel like I've put off making this video, because I don't have an answer to that. And I wish I could come here and be like, it is this kind of product, or it is this specific seed, or it's this, and it is, honestly, I don't know. I'm allergic to pets, and I babysit for a family that has pets, but I also personally have a pet, so I don't think it is animals, but a lot of people say eczema and psoriasis are triggered by allergies. So I'm trying to be more mindful about that, like what I eat, what I put on my skin. Now when I babysit too, I kind of wear my mask in the house just to be extra precautious for, you know, for the fluff and the fur and all that. But yeah, guys, I really don't know. Unfortunately, it sucks, but I will update you guys. That means that there'll probably be a part 2, because since I don't know what my trigger is, I don't know how to avoid it, which means I will have another breakout. So there will be a part 2, okay? That gives me hope. And you guys will soon know what my triggers are. Hopefully not that soon, because I do not want to break out anytime soon. But Godspeed, you know? The next question was, where do you flare up the most? Same as before, I answered that. Just the upper lip, sometimes eyebrow, sometimes my neck here and there, but really my upper lip be flaring up as it, like, nobody's business, y'all. I don't even know why, but ooh, I like this question. Would you ever create a product to help manage eczema / psoriasis? Honestly, I would love that. I'm stealing your idea, okay? I would love that. I don't know how, when, or not why, but I don't know how or when, but that is something I will look into, honestly, because I've been thinking about making my own makeup brand. So maybe I could make it, you know, eczema / psoriasis friendly. That way, you know, you can wear all your foundations, all your makeups without feeling like, okay, I'm gonna have a breakout, you know, or just like allocate certain days for makeup because you know you're gonna have a breakout, so you need the weekend to recover or something, you know? So it would be nice to create a makeup line that included that, and I think I would, especially since, you know, I already have eczema, and I was probably gonna include things that hydrate your skin to the max into those products. So I'm definitely gonna consider that more, and maybe even like a skincare line or something, because honestly, there's too many skincare lines out there for me to try. I would trust only my own, so I would honestly be down to create something that, you know, was pharmacist approved, but also really, really good for your skin, like actually does all the work that it needs to, plus hydrating, plus all this other stuff that your skin would need if you had eczema and or psoriasis. So good question, whoever that was. And I'll be on that. I'll be doing that. Next question. Would love to just hear about your journey, TBH. I have eczema, by the way. Girl, I know we all do. Honestly, this is like, I should make this a series on my channel at this point, because I really do think that a lot of people have eczema / psoriasis. So, you know, it might become a series either on YouTube or Instagram. You let me know in the comments below. But I love that. I mean, I don't actually love that because I don't want you to have eczema, but I love that there's a community. You know, I love that worst case, we are all here to support each other, even if we were all boiled up for the rest of our lives, okay? So this is the next question. It's, how did you get your eyes to stop being so puffy? How did I get my eyes to stop being puffy? I mean, I just went to the dermatologist, honestly, and that's the main thing I would say to you is if you are having skin issues and you're like, nothing's working, none of these like off the counter stuff is working, you have to go see your dermatologist. Like that's how it goes. So please go to your dermatologist first anyways, before you even listen to this video. That's really what you should do. That's probably what I should have said in the beginning. Go to your dermatologist. That's how I stopped it being puffy, because then she gave me all the remedies and all the topicals. And then another thing was I have an ice roller. So I use that once in a blue moon. I haven't really used it recently just because I haven't needed to, but on the days when it was so puffy, like by the end of the day, the only way it wasn't as puffy as it was when I woke up was the ice roller. So try out an ice roller. I'll link one down below if you have, lynchification forming, because that shit was not fun, y'all. It was trash. So this next question is actually from Claire. This is someone I know from LMU. We used to live in the same dorm freshman year, so hey girl. So she said, yes, product list, please. Product list, y'all. I think I mentioned that at the beginning. Literally shea butter and vitamin E oil. These are fragrance-free products. First of all, they're cheap. Let's just put it that way. None of that like, what is it? You know how people sell like collagen? Yes, okay. Everyone out here who is on that collagen grind, cut it. Literally cut it. Your natural collagen is already in you, so you really don't need all that extra stuff. What you do need is to maintain that collagen. So what you do need to do is get you some shea butter, get you some vitamin E oil. I promise you, you will never spend $56 on a bottle of tiny collagen ever again once you use this combo. I swear to you. I might as well just make that. That's what I should make as my product. The vitamin E oil shea butter mix, and kind of like create a nice texture there. We need something oily. You need something that really seeps into your skin but also does really good for it, not just sitting pretty. You know when you go to a party and everyone's just sitting pretty? You don't want that. You want products that are actually going to do the work. Not just sit there and serve face, okay? Because you will not be serving face if the products sit there and serve face and don't actually work. So definitely use vitamin E oil. Definitely use shea butter. The combo is going to actually obliterate your world, and it's really gonna give you something you've never had in your damn life before, I promise. This is something I've been doing for months, even before I got diagnosed with psoriasis. So trust me, those two, they will be your best friends, trust me. Then this is actually also from a friend of mine from LMU. So hey Thomas, what's up? He asked the question, yes, I told you that my sis thought she had it, but she actually has lichen. I don't know which lichen is. Let me look it up. So lichen is when the immune system mistakenly attacks cells of the skin. I mean, that's kind of what like psoriasis is, but it manifests in a different way, I guess. Because lichen looks like patchy white skin. So this is what lichen looks like. I'm gonna insert a photo right here so you guys can see. It definitely is. It doesn't look like psoriasis. It looks like what I used to know in Amharic called chert. Chert is like this skin thing that it literally looks like this, and it is contagious. That is something where when you rub it on a different part of your skin, it's gonna like appear. So it's infectious, which I don't think this necessarily is. This is like an inflammatory condition. So I honestly don't know, but the symptoms and the treatments seem very similar to psoriasis and eczema, honestly. So yeah, I mean, the reality is everyone has skin issues, you guys. I think that's what we've learned today from all the feedback that I've gotten from all my friends and all of you guys that have been watching that asked some questions as well, is that everybody has skin problems and there's nothing to be ashamed about. In fact, we should celebrate our skin for all the issues that we have with them. And yeah, I'm just glad that you guys even wanted to hear about this, to be honest, because I would have definitely never made a video like this, even though probably more useful than some of the vlogs that I make, you know? And we all deserve to cut ourselves some slack if we have some bad skin days, okay? It's honestly fine to have a bad skin week, skin month, skin year. Who cares, baby? As long as it's getting better, as long as it's healing in some way, shape, or form, that should be your priority, not, oh my God, I look this bad. Because that was definitely something I was so stuck on when I first, even got diagnosed, or not got diagnosed, but when the breakout started happening, I was like, I don't even want to go see the dermatologist. I was like, how will she solve this? I don't even know what's going on. And it's like, well, she's qualified to solve it, Lekem, so, you know, she will. But yeah, just get out of your own head, you know, step out of it. Go outside if you have a bad skin day. Who cares? Ain't nobody looking at you. We're all so self-obsessed and so worried about ourselves. Ain't nobody worried about you. That's really the best advice I could give you. Ain't nobody worried about you except you. And that's how it should be, honestly. So just focus on yourself, your overall health, and if you're having bad skin days, live your best life, baby. It's temporary, it'll go away, and if it doesn't, like I said, this is like worst case, by the way, because everything changes, literally. So this is like an anomaly, if anything. So if it doesn't, you know, if you end up having bad skin for the rest of your life, and that is air quotes around bad skin. But if you are, you know, stuck with this skin for the rest of your life that happens to be different from the norm, you know what? It will give you character development that you never thought you'd have. So everything happens for a reason. Everything is temporary though, so that most likely will not happen. You have to be like a 1% person, and I'm not saying you're not a 1% person. I'm just saying if you're a 1% person, you're already winning, baby. Like if you're 1%, you're good, so you'll be fine. And I don't mean that in like the financial way, I just mean that in the anomaly way. You're special just by being the 1%, so don't even worry about it. But don't let your skin determine what you do with your day or your week or your life, dude. Come on. Like that's a no-no right there. So, but yes, I appreciate you guys for watching this video. I love all of y'all, like all y'all that ask questions. I appreciate y'all. Some of you guys I haven't seen in 10 years. Shout out to you, Sav. Some of y'all I've seen as recently as graduation, and some of you, like Tom, I see once in a blue moon. So I love you all. You all are amazing. You're great. You're doing fantastic. And if anybody tells you otherwise, they are not your friend, and that's okay. But yes, I love you. So thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video. If you guys want more videos like this where we just sit and talk about skin or whatever, let me know. I'm here, you know, so hit my line. All right, I'm actually gonna log out here. Got greasy sunglasses energy, so we're gonna opt out of here. But love you, and I will see you next time.